God. They will feel the peace of God, and then they'll come for more, he says. The theory they've had in all denominations, they're fed up on that. Teach them to feel and taste the peace of God, they'll come for more. That's the only hope, is that we feel God's presence so much that we can compare it to outward living and realize the difference and want him fully. God is. God is. God is. God alone is. Feel that. Realize that. And so, the words of Jesus, remember those words. He was one of the great ones. When he said, the things I do, ye shall do, and greater things. Imagine. Those are true. This is eternal truth. Things I do, ye shall do, and greater things. Don't depreciate yourself. And so, each one of us is made as was Jesus, from the one eternal substance of God, his consciousness plus his power flowing through it. And as Jesus said that, he spoke from God's consciousness, from Christ's consciousness, and it is truth. So can each and every one of us do likewise. I remember an under Larry, who was Larry Marsh's grandson, wrote me a letter, and Larry Marsh said this. He said, know God alone by full surrender to God. Know him. Be one with him. And then you not only can see the great Larry Marsh, you not only can see any of the saints, you can be the saints. You can be the same consciousness which Jesus had. That's why it's so wonderful and necessary to know God, because his consciousness is all. His power is all. Why do we fool around, waste our time with lesser things? Why not think and live God all the time? That's what we must do. We must emulate the great ones. And so finally, remember Master's poem, when I am but a dream. He says, when you cannot find me in unplumbed space, now no loud command will bring me. Then he says, read my whispers of eternity. That he means go inward, whisper to God, Father, I need thee, I must have thee. And then he says, when you realize, as I now realize, that you are but a dream of God's great consciousness and his power, we will be together eternally in him. Isn't that wonderful? You see, we have to elevate our consciousness so that we vibrate with the great omniscience of God. In his omniscience is everything. Larry Marshall said you can not only see Jesus, but you can be him. Everything is in God's consciousness, but we're sidetracked in this worldly consciousness. We must supersede it. We can, because we're made in the image of God. And so, finally, if you want to emulate the great ones, everywhere you go, live in God. Live in God. You won't have to talk or anything. If you feel God in you when you mix with people, his presence will change them. You want to change people. I want to change people. If it's God's will, all right, get God. And then when you go with people, his power will change them. And greatest of all, when you feel his peace and bliss, and live it. Live God in everything you do. Never mind anything else. Never mind your position. God will never let you down. Whatever you do, live God, and his presence passing through you, if it is his will change the hearts of men. And lasting peace will come upon us, which we all need, which this old world needs more than ever, is peace, 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 bliss, bliss, bliss. No power on earth can do it except God's power. Let him flow through you. Let his great peace and bliss flow through you. That will change the hearts of men. Nothing else will. God is so wonderful. If his grace just descends upon us enough so we know he's with us every minute. That's the thing. You cannot do it by mind, intellect. Only through his grace will that come. But when it comes, you will realize that all your tribulations and trials are nothing. And even if you had to go through them for another 1,000 years, they'd be nothing. So great is God. Realize that. Follow the path of the great ones who said, God alone is. And I'm going to close by reading Master's poem, God, God, God. From the depths of slumber, as I ascend the spiral stairway of wakefulness, I will whisper, God, God, God. Thou art the food, and when I break my fast of nightly separation from thee, I taste thee and mentally say, God, God, God. No matter where I go, the spotlight of my mind ever keeps turning on thee, and in the battle din of activity, my silent war cry is ever God, God, God. When boisterous storms of trial shriek, and when worries howl at me, I drown their clamor, loudly chanting, God, God, God. When mind weaves dreams with threads of memories, then on that magic cloth I will emboss God, God, God. Every night, in the time of deepest sleep, my peace dreams and calls joy, 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 and joy comes, singing evermore, God, God, God. In waking, eating, working, dreaming, sleeping, serving, meditating, chanting, divinely loving, my soul constantly hums, unheard by any God, God, God.
In order to profit from these practical teachings in a meaningful way, which will have a definite and tangible impact in your life, we suggest that you subscribe to the Self-Realization Fellowship's home study course on the science of yoga. Please visit the SRF on the web at yogananda-srf.org or call the SRF's Mother Center in Los Angeles, California at 323-225-2471.